especially into a decent sharpshooter in Brock. I mean, I feel like Brock was making some good plays throughout that too, so the fact that those duels started going Toxic's Lotus way as that set progressed, I think goes to show the talent these guys have.
I mean, absolute donation of a set there, in my opinion, at the end, though, to be honest with you. Like,
hello, guys.
It really seemed like it was like,
we're here to watch.
Had the hype charge, the super to be able to kill the Ollie and wanted to save it for that, but if you're not getting one
we're
kill,
here
you're not going to be able to get two. So, real difficult stuff for Tribe Gaming. I feel after the first game, and that round was a set that they maybe should have walked away with, but Toxic Lotus managed to get the job done.
So,
bring it back to a 1-1 and open this game and this
it's 1-1 right now.
Great highlights
so
all around.
let's
I
see.
feel like both sides, like we've kind of said, have played well. Here's the animation that we saw from last year too. I think these guys have just had so much pressure on them, especially after seeing Countrymen and Ace Zero.
We're so close to 5,000 subscribers, guys.
Fine, but
if you guys are, please watching this, subscribe, because we are so close to 5,000.
3 times this season. I mean, that's got to do something to your mental. Puts a little more pressure on your shoulders, and that's something they very clearly carry.
Third set is going to be Bounty Hideout.
LCQ as well, so they'd love a bounce back here at Brawl Cup.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do like this map a lot.
Tough uphill battle for Toxic Lotus, though, regardless of this being a 1-1.
This is where all like the skill happens, pretty much, and a lot of good comps here as well.
Beat the team that they just got destroyed by, but this one a lot closer it seems. Bell, Naja, and the Mortis banned out by the Tribe Gaming side, and on the other side the Colettes, Naja, and Pierce. We've got that double Naja ban, no surprises there, and a couple of sharpshooters out the way too.
Top tier bans here, I mean, nothing cheeky about it. Obviously, the global bans, we had a little more shenanigans go down with the Miko, but Pierce, Naja, Colette, I mean, Bell, more, all of them, such good shouts, and especially with that Bell ban, that was the one thing I was looking out for, is something like a Gene, because the Bell bounce shot is going to do really well into those Gene composition. Gene relies on magic pops, healing the teammates, staying close to them if you're within that circle, great, but if Bell hits one of you, well, now all of a sudden you got a little electricity bouncing throughout all of you.
Kind of got to disperse a little bit when that happens. Maybe. So good to see it banned out of the way, and it kind of provides a bit more.
I mean, guys, I'm not like pro at drafting.
Over the other side, going to go for some heals of their own with the Byron. You compare that with something aggressive now, or wait a bit longer, because you can just play as a sharpshooter in general if you don't really want to go that hyper-aggressive route.
On one hand, there's the healing that you mentioned. On the other, there's poison. So Magic Hand gets a little more neutralized if you got something like that too. Makes a lot of sense. I think Byron's just going to be continuing, like usual, a staple in the pro diet in the meta. Just somebody that's very versatile. Gus, another one of those that's more down the tier list, especially now that you see all these sharpshooters being banned out. You might have to dig a little deeper if you want some range.
Roughs.
Well, a great shout then on the second pick of Toxic Lotus, bringing in the Roughs.
What are they? Are they trying to pick
a lot throughout the last couple of days?
Maybe they're trying to pick 8-bit last pick.
Gene hits, and obviously more importantly the Gene pulls,
so
which can sway the game heavily if hit.
Not a lot of aggression so far for either of these teams, and if Tribe Gaming want any of their own, they're gonna have to do it on this 4-5 turn. Mortis out of the way, Leon, Edgar, Shade. I mean, I wouldn't expect to see a Shade here, but Miko, anything like that. You're just running out of options for Assassin, so Kaze going to be a great one at that. So Blue Star is now addressed. Top of that, it's a little more of a hybrid in the sense that she has mid-range function, she has the daggers that can fly out, and then she obviously has the dash, which is Mortis-esque. That's why they're going to be able to get that Blue Star.
Yeah, absolutely. I like it. It's a good shout from them, and they played the Kaze pretty well in that first set that they did manage to win as well, so can't blame them for it, and brings the aggression, brings that kind of mid-range brawler that it can transform into as well, so really well-rounded for a game and mode like this, cleaning up in the last few seconds as well. And the Jae Young, that's another kind of healer on the map. And I do quite like it. Slipstreams as well, going to be able to provide some speed to the Kaze and get her in those aggressive positions.
Really curious if this right side just goes for health points. I mean, we have Gene who can hit a pull, we have Jae Young that can do speed, healing, you know, a multifunctional brawler. Kaze, though, is somebody that doesn't love a lot of health points. I mean, it's a sash and it wants to capitalize on these squishy brawlers, and that's exactly the direction Toxic Lotus go. We know they're great with this brawler. We've seen them use it this year, last year, regardless of the meta. It's one that they're clearly comfortable with, and now it's going to be empowered by a Byron.
Yeah, really solid shout from them, and surprising that Tribe didn't account for this a little bit more, considering just being beaten in the previous set. You would expect them to think about it at least and try and prevent it, but maybe they kind of already had, and Toxic Lotus were just like, you know what, we'll go with it anyway, but I think they kind of lacking quite a lot of DPS to deal with this Ollie.
1-1 in our closing match of the group stage. It's been an excellent Brawl Cup so far, but Tribe Gaming want revenge. Toxic Lotus want to end with their heads held high as now they dash to the middle. Blue Star going as expected. It's going to be in Luffy's hands. Engine in the middle alongside Tok. They're going to be glued together this whole time. Colonel Ruffs is going to have his hands full on the left, though.
Yeah, I mean, the speed that RBM's got and being able to pivot into healing when he needs to as well is going to be a bit of a risk. Similar range, I'd imagine, though, between the Ruffs and the Jaeyoung, so a bit of a stalemate at the moment, but he goes and pinches Engine for a little while. But obviously Blue Star with Tribe, so they're in no rush.
I imagine Toxic Lotus have to play around in Ollie Super, so I think Engine's going to have to put themselves in some precarious positions just to try and charge up. Needs to take some tags, of course, and hits a gadget, but doesn't quite make contact. There's a kill onto RBM, though. Now a little power-up going down. Sandbags there. Luffy diving in. Oh, and it's a perfect tag onto all three sandbags, but not a single brawler.
Yeah, rough. Very rough. No pun intended with the Ruffs going down, obviously, there as well. But heals going back and forth between RBM and Diego Gamer, keeping each other in the mix.
I don't know.
Speed being popped as well, and was very unfortunate that Kaze super, but well evaded by Engine, and he still does have that super as well. Hypercharge drop being provided, and that makes it even nastier.
Yeah, Engine just got powered up. He's going to be deadly, especially now with the hypercharge super in the pocket. Talk needs to be careful in the right-handed. RBM going for a play there, and I just don't think it was a good decision, especially with OU and Engine working alongside each other. Sure, they're chipped down, but Luffy still doesn't have enough in the tank to at least go at this. Engine has to be super careful now. The pull going through. Oh, he lands it on OU. Hypercharge completely missed by Talk as well. Tribe can capitalize now.
I mean, completely through the sandbags he grabs OU. Lovely stuff there, but Engine's still holding on to this hypercharge and super. RBM coming around the side now, providing some heals. Then Weekend Warrior follows up. The top just behind the wall. There's the Fanstorm coming in now as well, but a hypercharge out of Engine will hypnotize and should kill Diego Gamer, and there's no trade there from Luffy.
Somehow Byron survives, drops the super, and now can heal up Engine. 10 seconds to go, and Tribe Gaming have to make a push. A little Weekend Warrior coming out, hypercharge going down, and he's cycling everything. The work-life balance not enough so far from Jaeyoung as Diego Gamer goes for the pull, but doesn't stand a chance against OU. Chinese mainland's finest, taking advantage of the set.
Absolutely finest as well. Really good gameplay from them, I will say. You know, evading that Kaze super really changed the game. He might have gone down by that. But that gene pull as well through the sandbags, couple of notable moments from that game. But in the end, Toxic Lotus continue their winning streak of games and Tribe kind of in a position they haven't felt today.
Another blue star for Luffy. Now Tribe Gaming just going to sit idly by. These early games are going to be all about landing some shots, even one, just one at a time to help build up that super. That's why Engine is so focused on this L-shaped wall on the left-hand side. He wants any connection, any tag he can get just to get a little bit closer, because that's when Toxic Lotus can act.
Yeah, and he's getting a couple in there as well. Diego getting picked off, hypnotized there. Should be a kill on Engine though, if anything, and aggression comes through from Luffy, and the follow-ups are there as well. He's going to carry on and try to get the Byron, but thinks better of it in the end.
Yeah, maybe if he played too aggressive,
right there. They use an Engine super to use it as an escape mechanism.
Good pull
as well. Tribe Gaming laying down the heavy fire. It was so close in game number 1, and all of a sudden, Toxic Lotus have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, I mean, that is a beautiful pull from Diego Gamer, just flying under the radar in the bush, and Engine didn't know it was coming. Big hill for them to climb now. 5 stars down, and
when he played for
a lot of control needed to get back. Yes, Engine does have a super. OU can't provide that hypercharge drop to him this time, though.
OU feeding himself as Engine marches forward, dives in, makes the contact, but RBM still alive. A pull through, beautifully executed, and Luffy smells blood in the water, goes straight at Talk, gets a trade, but still a kill for Tribe. 5-star swing, and blue roster holding firm.
As after all that, it's still the same stars between them. 5 in the hands of Tribe in terms of lead. And a hypercharge for Luffy here as well. Might be a Fanstorm to try and lift this push. RBM goes for the Weekend Warrior gadget, gets a few taps in. There's the hypercharge at the left-hand side from Luffy. And Talk
I feel like that was
Tribe Gaming
maybe that was
in a
too
great
early.
spot. Toxic Lotus just out of position
RBM
there.
has
Engine alone is not as powerful as alongside Byron.
Here.
They were able to isolate Byron, grab that kill, and now for the closing seconds, Engine has to make a desperation effort to grab a kill too. Hypnosis though, a few stars being swung to the difference maker. Luffy left all alone. 9,100 HP separating the game, and Tribe Gaming now will tie it themselves.
That was close.
Just about at the end, the Kaze was flapping,
CR,
getting away from those 3 brawlers, just closing down on him.
I mean, they already
luckily for him, the timer halted their attack. Toxic Lotus still looking pretty decent and almost a good turnaround there, but Tribe Gaming, for the most part throughout that game, were looking pretty good.
CTL's coach pacing on stage, barking orders at his teammates to make adjustments here for the next one, as now this set perfectly tied up. Ones all across the board. Engine working alongside OU. This is interesting because now they've just put Talk straight up on Gene rather than helping out Engine. It's just left to Byron to be a sharpshooter.
Yeah, working though, to be honest with you. Diego Gamer has been sent packing back to spawn at the moment. And Engine trying to get a few shots in. He's been pretty successful at getting supers, to be honest with you, and making them work. And there's another one hypnotized there as well. And Luffy will fall. Vengeful Spirits almost gets the kill, but he uses super to get away.
This time the escape route pays off. They grab the kill and now have a 1-star advantage, including the blue. RBM positioning himself on the top left-hand side as Talk works his way down the back right, using the long distance to his advantage. As Engine now is in trouble, goes for the hypnosis, has to fight a kill on RBM. It does a double as well. Toxic Lotus now expand and get a fifth. Diego Gamer though, a nice job of at least giving them a little bit closer. 2 stars is much more manageable.
Absolutely great trade.
I feel like they gotta kill. They gotta kill.
As well. Clearly have the power above him as well. Glowing purple. Luffy trying to bait a
I
few
don't know
shots
how
in
they
and out.
will
There's the super for Engine. Gets it
Maybe
off being
RBM
hit.
has to
Weekend
try
Warrior
to.
use. Tries to get the hypnosis,
Engine
but Engine
dismissed.
completely missed
Okay.
it all. And wastes another super on defense. 40 seconds left. Diego's got a pull, RBM's got a hyper. Something big's about to happen.
I mean, Talk has entirely changed his role. He is not helping Engine out at all in terms of heal. Now he's dueling with Luffy on the bottom side and gets it done. A good kill there as Diego Gamer has a pull. Engine now in hot pursuit. Still holding on to this. The tandem of Tribe Gaming looking to go 2v1, and it's not enough. Ollie still has plenty in the tank to work with. They are expanding.
Still doable with 15 seconds. Hypercharge
all of them has
powered up on the side of Toxic Lotus. Hypnosis into his own wall. There's another one. Pulls Luffy back 7 seconds. All so low, and it doesn't look like it's going to be able to be done. Another one goes in. Luffy lunges forwards, but it's not going to swing enough. And a big set win for Toxic Lotus.
We knew this group would be interesting, but I mean, this is crazy. I don't think we've ever had a situation where 1-1, 1-1, 1-1 for everybody in the group stage has really ever happened. And right now, it's looking like Chinese mainland might just have Tribe Gaming's number. Sure, they've rotated in Diego Gamer instead of Zeus, but they're clearly demonstrating that the drafts are showing up just enough to be competitive. The mechanics are there. I mean, this is more the roster we're used to seeing. Foot Esports swept them away. It's the team that also, I might add, lost to Tribe Gaming, yet it is Toxic Lotus pushing for a 4th and Tribe Gaming begging for a 5th set.
I mean, it just goes to show how tight this Group D was. And it was super surprising in general to see Tribe Gaming take down Foot Esports. That seemed like a bit of an upset in itself. And it would be a massive upset now if Toxic Lotus managed to take down Tribe after losing to Foot. So a very close group in Group D, and it just seems like, depending which team you are, you've got another one of the team's number.
It's definitely been a lot of fun. Been a great time at the Brawl Cup here in Toxic Lotus. Of course, if you've been with us for more than just this year, you know the story behind them. One of the best in Brawl history.
I'm pretty sure they swept Tribe last year too.
Look at the kill count as well. I mean, just even footing across the right-hand side. Meanwhile, Luffy clearly carrying on the left. That is his role after all. I think Jae-Young and Jean clearly there to power him up, to enable him to be the man. But it just wasn't quite there.
Yeah, I mean, eight's good, but not quite good enough, unfortunately. 2 teammates only with 1. And it is Hot Zone up next. Might decide if it's Toxic Lotus and force a bit of a tie-break situation with 1-1-1 if they manage to get this done. So a big one for them, but Tribe Gaming do not want that to happen. They want to finish number 1 in this group, and it's going to require 2 straight sets to do it.
The stage has had a lot of magic in the past. We'll see if Tribe Gaming can be one of those
what a
teams
nice stage they
that
built.
can claim it.
That's
Mortis,
actually
Crow, Griff on
really
the top
cool.
left-hand side. Meanwhile, Pierce, Lumi, and Colette. So some interesting ones. On the right-hand end, we're certainly throwing out some range, a little bit of a control brawler as well. Meanwhile, Mortis no longer. No wall break from Griff as well. So I'm curious how these teams are going to approach it, because with dueling Beetles, if I see a Griff, I'm a little bit thrown off, because it's not a typical ban, so clearly there's a vision here for Tribe Gaming and something they're very much intending.
I mean, this is the thing as well. If you're kind of doing something a bit bold when you're 2-1 down, it's a huge risk, and yes, it can pay off massively, but it can also just, you know, end up shooting yourself in the foot. So Ems comes through as the first pick. Definitely not a bad one at that. I do quite like it. It used to be very solid on this map, I'll add as well. So Griff, it baffles me a little bit as well, and it absolutely is absolute cinema. Can't deny it.
Well, maybe they wanted anti-tank of choice here, and maybe Ems is just their best bet, so you throw out Griff, no piggy bank, which means Ems has a little bit easier of a time. Curious to see how this goes. Poco in the face of that, too.
Yeah.
Wow, so a really interesting draft start, I would say, just overall.
It seems pretty weird to go with Poco into the Ems.
Yeah.
Because usually you pair in Poco with something quite aggressive, a tank or an assassin, or maybe they're just going to go triple heal, but even that wouldn't be great against the Ems.
They banned Griff, Colette, so I feel like all like
the name of the game with these 2 teams.
Tank counters are kind of
banned
banned.
with the draft.
I'm not sure either. Is this maybe a tuning fork play or just
like,
trying to cancel out something that they're anticipating from the other side? Yeah, that's exactly where I was going. So we get Lu freeze and Poco, not normally going to be something that you would say hard counters, but because of that gadget choice, it entirely changes things. If you got a Lu freeze, you can take it out. So now they grab that for themselves. I think that's why they put Poco with this. If they just drafted Lu alone, well, it's an easy click of Poco for the left-hand side. So if you want Lu, you had to go with the Poco.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is for me, I look at these two brawlers, I'm like, man, if they get spawn trapped, they're going nowhere. Like, they're going nowhere. They need control throughout the entirety of it, or at least to have that 50-50 in the mid. If they go back to spawn all at one time, it's going to be super tough to break past an Ems with those two brawlers. Kenji going to come in then, an aggressive pick, and I do like it, I must say. Kenji is one of the brawlers that I do enjoy seeing, and I think the Tribe have got a great selection.
TL better nail this 6th pick, but they're going to have to wait to see what Tribe do with their last remaining. So Kenji, in this early game, is going to have to be careful, going to have to dodge out some Lu shots, but Lu is not an easy brawler to pilot. I mean, those shots are a little staggered. It's not just a straight line of snow cones going your way. So I think Kenji, especially with his maneuverability, just being able to dash up the map, somebody with a little control, and we still haven't seen any signs of wall break, I think partially due to that. Now we get a Clancy as well, who I really like this Clancy matchup in particular in the Poco. I just think it's kind of a super feeder for him.
It absolutely is, yeah. And I don't know if that ultra stops them from going that kind of possible aggressive brawler that they might have wanted to go at the end as well, because you're going into an Ems, you're going into a Clancy, you're feeding both of them, and it's going to be super hard to kind of pair that with the Poco. So we'll see what they do choose to go for their 3rd and final. Obviously being 6th pick, it gives them a bit of power, but as you said, I really like that Clancy. I don't think it's going to be difficult to play into here.
I think Tribe just thinking through all their options, because with the 4th and 5th pick especially, you're just trying to make sure you can't get beat by a 6th pick, and I think that's about as good of a well-rounded comp as you can do, especially given the bans. And I guess if you're going to pick Ems first overall, they're doing their best along the way. This is a little unusual from them used to. Amber in a 1v1 matchup into all of these outranges the Clancy, outranges the Ems, but I'll stand by you. There's not a lot of aggressive features. There's no wall break to move them up the map more quickly. These aren't mobility brawlers, so if they lose the early game, Toxic Lotus are in deep trouble.
It's going to be super difficult to get past these walls if they are pinned back in spawn, as we kind of both said. It's going to need to be a mid-battle for them, or all-out control. Don't want to be feeding this Clancy at all, I'll tell you that. Luffy starting things off super aggressive through the mid, just beelining for the back lines of Toxic Lotus.
OU already has super charged up as well. Rotating fire going around engines, dancing in the flames as Talk operates on the left-hand side. RBM up the middle, low HP, needs to fade away, but still being rather aggressive. I think just trying to stay alive as long as possible to build those percentage points, but they've let it go. Now this is exactly what we were looking out for. Toxic Lotus have gotten the pressure. Now they've gotten around these walls, and OU has a hypercharge already. This is promising.
Yeah, super early, super and hypercharge for him, as you've said. RBM coming in now, does catch Engine off guard and a miss heal from OU. All of that work wasted in one move, and a great push by Ems. Shows how good of a first pick that is.
Diego Gamer now on that 2nd tier, which is very important. Clancy at his 3rd stage, can be rather lethal as OU tries to get around this. Luffy doing a great job of making contact. Talk, though, has the ice rink available. Being patient, trying to bait this out as now Luffy goes the other way with an engine, with a nice dodge, a little flamethrower out the middle as OU sweeps him away with a little guitar stroke, and it's Tribe Gaming still with the lead, but DLF taking control.
Need to be cautious of Diego Gamer here with the super in hand. It's going to be a tough move for them if they feed him up. Luffy with a hypercharge too. OU needs to work for another super of his own. There's the super collected by Luffy as well, and a hyper for Engine. Might have caught them both in that, and Diego in a real precarious position, just burning up RBM, but a good gadget through the wall gets them back in the mix.
OU now with the super available, goes out with it as Luffy goes with a hypercharge. Oh, makes contact with Talk as well, but the ice ring will slow them down. Now fire in ice all around Luffy, taking shots from every direction is Tribe Gaming, and it's going to be back and forth the whole way through.
I mean, a hyper was ready for OU there as well, and he didn't even need to use it. Dancing flames around Engine in the lead with Toxic Lotus.
No, hey,
the right side. In hand, trying to go hyper aggressive, but a hypercharge back is going to be missed. RBM pops one of his own, and Luffy cleans up the right. 10% needed, but
is NA just that bad, bro?
Engulfing the middle of the map as Talk tries to work on this left-hand side. This is enough percentage and enough of a stronghold to where Tribe Gaming might be able to turn this around. Gasoline going down on the ground. Luffy going against OU straight up as RBM gets the takedown. Diego Gamer as well. It's 3 blue members standing tall, and Toxic Lotus can't do a thing about it.
Such a close match between these two teams. Tribe managing to get it done in the end, but Toxic Lotus in the driving seat for the majority of it, or at least for kind of 3/4 at least. So they've definitely got a chance here. There were a few slip-ups here and there and gave quite a bit of value to the M's on occasions.
Tribe got this.
So that's something they got to clean up. But this could be done in 4 if Toxic Lotus just polish up a little more.
So up the middle of the map go Engine in OU. Talk on the right-hand side this time as Luffy expands on the left. Now diving in at OU. Healing Gadget goes down as well. Has the Poco Super available for heals as Diego Gamer wants to get any shots he can. The earlier he can get to this silver tier, it's going to be better for the roster as a whole. Even if it costs him his life, I think it's okay depending on how this result goes.
Much better, I will say, from Toxic Lotus
okay,
at the moment.
Diego already has silver.
Hidden back into the Toxic Lotus spawn and a much better percentage-wise for Toxic Lotus. There's a great gadget again though. Earns RBM his Super OU, just trying to stay alive, trying to stay in the mix. Gets the Hyper Super and uses it too. Diego Gamer should be stunned out and dealt with here, but Tox got no help.
I mean, the red roster's just not falling down. Diego Gamer and Tribe Gaming are falling like flies, just one at a time. They need to rotate in together. It hasn't been a push in unison. Meanwhile, Toxic Lotus are doing so as an entire squadron. Good job by Engine to make sure they're maintaining. They do have a hypercharge super as well, so if they get in a pinch, Tok can use it immediately.
I mean, she's going to throw it onto RBM here, get him stunned up, and should be pinched in, but he was just kind of stunned in a really tough spot, and he gets so many heals out here as well. RBM still surviving, and Luffy with a bit of help puts Tribe back on the mark.
What a turnaround. M Super for the win. It looked like a guaranteed kill. A couple ice rink, a gadget even in there, and M survived it all. Great heads up play from RBM as now his teammate puts up work on the top.
Okay.
Doesn't make a connection, and now it's going to result in Luffy staying alive.
They're all missing hypers.
Yeah, no connection
That's
the other
funny.
way, though, from the hypercharge.
Wait, Engine does have
off the point now
hyper.
and start ticking upwards, but Diego Gamer at level 3 with a hypercharge in hand is not what you want to be looking at. Great stun by Talkin now, pretty much even on percentage. But Diego Gamer in the back, great heal from OU, but the better save from RBM. He just can't die. Eventually goes down, couldn't get the second super off, and Luffy going straight onto the zone.
It took every bullet the Toxic Lotus had, but they finally bring the main man down as Diego Gamer dances to the left-hand side. Extra stats from the hypercharge as OU falls rather weak. And there's RBM once again rearing his ugly head. The deadliest 3 letters in North America, hovering on this right-hand side wall, and Tribe Gaming have an opportunity to once again surprise you.
No ammo to get Diego down, and Talkin, you are the only ones who could do anything now. Hypercharge being used, needs to get a super and stretching solo that zone, but it's still ticking up as RBM, not that healthy. Staying on, there's the hypercharge coming in, can they get them down in time?
That was crazy. Nah.
And brilliance keeps them in it.
That was actually crazy.
Something about these two teams, man. Another year, another intense match. What a way to end our day number 2. A privilege to take these two squads all the way to a set 5. A lot of expectations on Toxic Lotus, a lot on Tribe. I would say less to lose considering they were undefeated, like I mentioned at this point last year, but I think they just want it so badly to right the wrongs of what Dallas was. In front of a home crowd, you can't help but feel disappointed. They came back with a new roster member in Diego Gamer, came back fierce. They have yet to win a grand finals in North America. That's all fine and dandy, but if they show up on the Brawl Cup stage, all will be forgiven.
Yeah, huge gameplay from them, and 2 incredibly close hot zone games. Both of them decided in the dying seconds. Really good showing from both of them. Just, I think it was the Talk who just couldn't get the ammo to kill them, and RBM staying alive in these situations. M's wonderful first pick, bear in mind as well. Clancy had its moments, but I think Luffy, the standout, definitely ended the second game here, really making it work, because I thought maybe with that stun, he got his 64 HP. 64 HP wins in the game.
That's crazy. I mean, Toxic Lotus just shaking their heads. What can you do? Just hands and fists. In another world, in a sliding doors moment, that goes differently. For the final map, we will head to Death Cap Trap, this rivalry being renewed for day number 2 of our Brawl Cup 2026. Some interesting bans going down. I would say some typical ones. You see Mortis top left, Colette top right, but Stu being thrown out. Colonel Ruff's a safe bet to go as well. I think this is going to make the first pick a little more interesting because some of our stable options are now out.
Well, Luffy is going to be selecting the Lumi. And it's a good first pick. It's been banned out for quite a lot of our Brawl Cups so far, so nice to see that being able to get on the board nice and early. Still, obviously with these bans, Mortis being banned out with the aggression, you know, I'm happy to see Colette out of the way, to be honest with you. I really am. But am I right in saying Nah just slipped through here?
Yeah, I think that's a good observation from you as well. They're going to need some kind of mid, of course. They're going to need some way to deal with Lumi because Lumi is such a good cutoff brawler. So this wasn't at the top of mind. It's not bad, but the good news is I think this is going to be particularly to contest Lumi, at least in the range battle, right? Or if they want to empower a fellow teammate as well, now they can go throw a shield. So if something wants to dive in at the enemy side, Gus can send them on their merry way with a little extra health.
Yeah, makes sense. It's just a consistent mid brawler, isn't it, Gus? Really, you know, when you're under a bit of pressure, pop the shield, have the knockback. Kooky Popper goes a long way at finding some kills you wouldn't otherwise expect as well. So the Mo will join the Gus on that side, and as you said, it's nice to be able to provide a shield to someone, especially someone who goes as aggressive as Mo.
So 2 more picks for Tribe Gaming. Once again on the 4-5 turn for the clock. They got Lumi, who can be a fine mid gym carrier, but I don't know if they're going to be in love with this matchup into either Mo or Gus. So I'm curious to see what they surround themselves with.
How does that even make any
sense? For a big-time drummer in Brawl Stars. A couple of these neutral ones are out of the way, like I mentioned before, so no Colonel Ruffs that can play a side lane. I don't really know if there's a one answer here that's particularly coming to mind. I'm kind of just looking out for these more meta brawlers, like I mentioned.
That means Tribe wins one,
a very safe option. It's gym grab. You just have to expect this is a possibility.
How would they
Penny slide in this map a few times here and there. Gonna be able to tank out some of the good shots. Salty Barrel and the Mo comes in can be really solid as well to be able to get rid of that, and obviously good lane / mid brawler depending where you want to play it. It can be flexible.
Quarterfinals, yeah, my bad.
So Lily, Shadow Realm accessibility is a big deal, a large reason why she shows up in this game mode in particular. On top of that, she's a great duelist, one-on-one interaction.
So
but I will say this isn't necessarily the easiest go at it. They have Mo who can kind of get an unnatural pushback. You got Gus who can bounce you away with a bubble. Now they get little dinks in this too. So I think this is going to really slow down the projectiles of the right-hand side as well. I think this turned out to be a great 3 picks from Tribe Gaming.
Yeah, I really like it. I mean, when you're putting Lily in Tribe's hands as well, it's gonna be a good time. Obviously, if you're massively behind, both of these teams now have that turnaround capability. You know, Lily popping up here and there, Hypercharge can flip a game on his head, and the same with Mo as well. If you really need to get those gems in the dying seconds, it's something.
The crowd gasped too. I mean, I'm shocked. That's typically a Tribe Gaming move. That's typically RBM piloting that brawler, and Toxic Lotus trying to give them a taste of their own medicine. And on top of that, Toxic Lotus trying to stay undefeated against Tribe Gaming. This has been quite a treat to watch. 2 years in a row, we've had these squads compete. And Chinese mainland had a strong showing, an upward trajectory now for years in Brawl Stars. And it all comes down to this. In the final match of Group D, 2-2 situation. What a treat to end the day, Brawl Nation. Get on your feet for the set 5.
Well, a quick gadget up by both Luffy and Tok are going to meet in the middle of the map nonetheless, so seems like a bit of a waste on both parts.
Brutal start is now Luffy. Will dive forward, makes contact with that super, and OU going to be in a world of hurt as well. Somehow survives it all, but Diego Gamer there to occupy the space as well, replacing him, Tok diving in. Now gets a kill. Once again, a trade. RBM relying on that super and the time warp to keep him up, and he barely does.
Yeah, just narrowly stays alive. 7, 8, 9. On the HP bar. Engine super in hand on the left-hand side. Tok just gets this. Luffy comes out of that realm. And a great Kooky Popper brings RBM low, but Tok not going to be able to get too much done here, being pinched in. Heals pretty much all the way up before he gets hit by one of those Lumi shots. Now Diego trying to pivot around the side, but gets killed.
The
Assassins are doing a great job of getting some picks, but it's not been enough to really occupy space for the entirety. Luffy's got to be getting rather close, I would say, to a hypercharge as well. It feels like he's been in a lot of interactions, and especially if you're getting punches thrown, there it is. It's going to be able to charge it up naturally. But Tok gets one of the own too, so it's going to be up to these 2 tanky players of who gets the better of the other squad.
Engine ready to go, gets stunned out though, or locked in place by that Lumi super. Hypercharge on the buzz in the back lines, but one also for Luffy as well. 66, so pretty much an even game at the moment, but big turnaround capabilities either side.
Eyes on Lily and Buzz. This Engine dives in, goes underground. The stun doesn't quite make a connection and capitalizes. Luffy sees that he misses. Now a time warp being dropped as well. RBM trying to scoop these gems and does. TL delicately rotating on the left-hand side as Luffy disappears from eyesight. They have to keep an eye out for Lily.
I do think, oh, he's missed his super with the hyper, but RBM's gonna fall, 8 gems drop to the floor, and OU will scoop them all up. Big blunder by Tribe, which was kind of caused by a big blunder by Toxic Lotus.
Oh man, Toxic Lotus certainly happy about the result of that. Now hypercharges his options. Luffy going straight at OU, knows where he is due to the callouts from the team, but now OU rotating left-hand side. Tok there for coverage, a slowed down super, but won't be enough. Somehow, some way, TL slide out of there with a match point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't don't know how that happened. I'm not sure if he was pushed out of position because he thought the buzz was coming in with hypercharge. He missed it and then got punished for being out of position. Real tough stuff then for Tribe Gaming. And Toxic Lotus now just one away from the win.
Crazy stuff. A Group D 1-1 for everybody would be insane. As now Luffy, cross court, going up to this wall as Talk dives in once again, looking at Diego Gamer, a stun available for Talk, but he's playing it pacing. Gus does his job as well. Engine trying to do the long-range to mid-range fight against RBM. It's going to lead to Toxic Lotus scooping his second gym. A stun going through, a TP away, beautifully baited by RBM.
Yeah, but I mean, a really nice shield comes through from OU. Engine's going to go down now, though, and Tok still in a good position. Lumi trying to pinch round with those Morning Stars, but doesn't find anything back from it. And now it's Tribe establishing themselves in a bit of a better position, but a nice gadget to the backlines, but Engine has an answer, but it's just not enough.
Even fight,
they need
just
to,
like this entire match has been as Talk finally falls. OU.
Okay, Luffy has to kill Mo here.
Is trying to poke away at Diego Gamer, who now
Nice.
is fading, goes over here and is dropping
Dude,
these
nice,
Morning Stars,
nice,
leaving
nice,
them on the
nice.
ground and trying to get a surprise attack. That's exactly what happens. The Ice Rink will cut off Gus. They buy a little bit of time though. It's Tribe taking over the middle of the map.
Okay.
Now Luffy getting dangerous. Talk's gonna be right there. Oh, and they
Nice.
dive different directions as well. They pass.
Okay.
And now Luffy's gonna be able to get the kill.
Alright,
Engine
alright,
cleans
alright.
up Talk. Somehow still alive
Not
amidst
bad.
all
Oh,
of this, but
nice.
doesn't
Okay,
do
pop
enough for a
this
kill.
is
All the
super.
gyms now with Tribe. There's
Okay,
some
Mo
still
has
down though. Should be okay for
hypercharge.
TL.
Engine trying to protect, so he knows he can go in
Come
when he
on.
gets the hypercharge with minimal risk. But that one spawns on Tribe's side. Hypercharge coming in now, goes for RBM, but
Nice.
he's going to TP
Super
back on
by
the
on-
map.
like,
And a
good
great
legend.
evade with nobody.
By
Oh,
RBM.
double
No,
stun.
no,
But through
no.
goes Engine,
Nah.
gets it. Luffy picks up 6 into the realm, but Top cleans up. And they're going to have 9 out of the spawn.
Gems being exchanged by both hands, and somehow Toxic Lotus once again. Magicians!
Nice!
Get away with more gems. RBM though, another great play.
Okay,
9
okay.
and now 6. It's a flip flop once again.
Nice,
The
nice,
Cookie
nice,
Bomber
nice,
doesn't
nice,
get the kill, but Luffy's got 8. They need to get him down before another gadget comes back. Can't get it from the mid, so OU trying to do the right-hand side. Hypercharge forced out early on. Diego Gamer won't get the kill, but no super there for Tok. But surely Luffy can just gadget away and just chill. But a TP back into the position. And Tribe get one on the
Let's
board
go.
and force double match points.
Would you believe it, folks? What an unbelievable unfolding of this rivalry. 1 year later, Tribe Gaming still somehow in it. Toxic Lotus can still go undefeated against one of mobile gaming's biggest franchises. Incredible stuff. It's been scrappy to say the least. It has not been perfect, but Tribe Gaming and Toxic Lotus, nothing but entertaining.
It all comes down to this game to see who's going to be the victor. RBM with 3, nice and early on. Toxic Lotus can't really contest the mid at the moment with Diego in this position. A great Kooky Pop from OU though forces him out, and there's the super from Tok. Will get them back in the mix.
3 TL Brawlers standing tall as now they move into this left-hand side. It's becoming an east-west affair, a little untraditional for Brawl Stars and this map in particular. You can see Tok kind of just dancing back and forth here. He's looking to try and charge up that super. If he's within a certain threshold, he's just trying to clip a little bit of extra supercharge from Diego Gamer.
I mean, Tok gets in there now. Diego should be able to go down and does. And on the spawn is OU, but in the back is Luffy, just giving them so many issues. Eventually gets taken down, and it's a tie ball game.
Beautiful peek shot from OU to grab that kill. 2 supers. They have to find where Tok is. He's splashing that super, looking to go for the life preserver contact onto somebody like RBM.
Yo,
They get a
nature,
little ice
bro.
rink, so they
Yo,
know
what's
somebody's
up?
slipping up as Tok now rotates to the left-hand side. This is going to be the thing we have to watch out for. If he makes this play, it's great, but we've seen him miss a couple times this set.
Luffy's still chilling on the right. There's the gadget trying to go for Engine, who scouts him out, but he's going to land pretty much straight on him. There's the super as well, and he doesn't have one in return. Luffy cycles out, and Tok misses it as well. And only one more gem needed for Tribe to start the count.
Tribe Gaming in prime position to get the revenge after a
Prime
year and a
position.
long wait. Humiliation at Dallas last year. They have an opportunity to take down the Trailblazers. Here goes Engine for one more. RBM slowly
come on,
backing
come on,
away to the bottom side of the map
come on.
as Luffy
8
goes to
seconds.
play bodyguard for his teammate Diego Gamer, the
Yeah, it's
new
over,
roster
it's
member,
over.
trying to do right by this beloved franchise. Tok
no.
diving in the stun, goes through
Oh.
RBM. North America perseveres after 0-2 last year. They're perfect in the group stage.
Just incredible.
Dude, that was actually
milliseconds
so good.
between Toxic Lotus and a big turnaround and a big flipping of gems. But Tribe Gaming hold on. And as you said, Kenny, 0-2 last year to 2-0 in 2026.
I think a major shout out to Toxic Lotus. Tribe Gaming deserve all their flowers, but what a competitive showing, especially after seeing A0 yesterday go down. They did this region proud. I think Chinese Mainland still has a lot of gas in the tank. Can't wait to see, though, how these fellows feel. They were put through a gauntlet, and now they get to talk with Banks.
Oh my goodness, correct me if I'm wrong, but Group D has given us the best matches today. That was unbelievable. Luffy, I'd like to quickly say, revenge is a dish best served in Game 5. How did that feel?
Bueno, la revancha es un plato que se sirve mejor en un quinto mapa. ¿Cómo se ha sentido?
Me he sentido muy bien, tipo, nos preparamos, lo hicimos muy bien y nada, no sé qué vas a decir.
So it felt very good. We prepared, we played well, and yeah.
You did play incredibly well. Now, more importantly, finishing in this group as top seed coming into Championship Sunday tomorrow has put you in a much better position. How has that been for your confidence? Do you feel like all of you guys feel a lot more confident going into tomorrow now?
Bueno, salir de grupos con un seed 1, entonces poner una posición privilegiada para el Championship Sunday. ¿Cómo se siente eso? ¿Eso os ayuda a la confianza?
Me siento muy emocionado y tengo muchas ganas de jugar contra los mejores equipos, así que sí, se siente bien y estoy muy emocionado.
So I feel very excited. It feels very good, and I cannot wait to play against the best teams tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow can't come soon enough, but everybody please make some noise one final time for Tribe Gaming. Congratulations, gentlemen. And with that, day 2 comes to a close. What a phenomenal day of matches we have had. We have said goodbye to 4 teams, and that means that just 8 remain in the race. Tomorrow is going to be so spicy. But I've got to say a few thanks. We'd love to say thank you to the production, to the players, and of course to the talent for all of your hard work so far. And most importantly, thank you so much to all of the fans, both here in Berlin and at home. Thank you for cheering on and supporting your favorite teams. And please continue to do so, because Brawl Stars Esports wouldn't be anything without you guys. Tomorrow, we will be crowning a champion, and along with that, they will receive that regional spot in the World Finals, that all coveted trophy for the end of this incredible journey we have at the Brawl Cup. Thank you all so much.